What happened last session was we had gone our separate ways as usual, and we had prepared to go into the sewers to investigate a possible lead we had found. We met with the people who had contracted us on this job, and they put us in a bit more forceful binding than we would have liked, but
I will say that in that exchange, you did get the name of the organization was the was the Shifting Sands, rather.
shanghaied by the Shifting Sands to do their dirty work. We head to the sewers on a lead. We all trip balls multiple times while trying to deal with a Myconid sovereign, which
I got slapped twice.
Yeah.
It was very fun. I enjoyed it.
I'm sad you only got slapped twice.
We did not burn it. We did not mind kill it. We just bonked it. After we subdued the sovereign, we decided to take a nice long rest after what can be described as tripping balls in the almost lethal way.
Mitti almost died again.
Yes.
Seems to be constant.
To be fair, all of you almost died, just most of you didn't realize it.
I had space.
I actually was rolling death saves.
I would never die. I would never.
I was clearly the coolest out of all of you because I resisted it for so long, so...
Just to clarify for mechanic's sake, because that was a mechanic that I was going to hide from you until it was applicable, your cat has true sight when you aren't looking through its eyes. When you are, it does not. As for other things to note with the wrap-up, Liam also got turned into a mushroom person.
I am the shrooms.
More accurately, he bonded with the Myconid Sovereign in its last dying breath because they were both linked by a curse.
I am the tripping.
After leaving the sewers, all of you notice that the mark from the Shifting Sands is gone, and find a letter with inked with black paper and white ink, simply stating, "Come join us when you would like." You all, for reasons for each of you, agree to take a rest of about a week in order to recover from the experience. Some of you have people to tend to, some of you have things you would like to speak on. What would you like to do in this week?
I would
Quick
first spend a
actions
week,
for a week.
learning as much as I can about Myconids from my witch doctor friend, as well as doing a bit of hunting.
You may go check the monster manual to learn about Myconids.
Alrighty, monster.
Probably would,
Myconid.
Probably would hang around the bar and, like, just inside the nearest city to us and ask to perform maybe once or twice, maybe like once or twice throughout the week, but mainly just keeping an eye out for any information on any more missing people or anything on the giant mushroom that we just murdered.
Roll me 1d100 for every performance you wish to do.
Let's do 3, actually. Let's do 3, you know? So I got an 11, a 48, and a 27.
Alright. That is the amount in copper that you get from your performance.
Okay, cool.
I think I would have been helping my dad out a lot more out of guilt for saying they could kill him instead of my mom. You know how it is.
Have you spoken to your mom about filling her in on the end of the case?
I would have written her the usual report.
So you walk into your mother's office and hand her your report, and she snatches out of your hand and looks at it immediately. This is not uncommon for you, as she generally reads over your reports the second she gets them, because you are her son. She's looking through and looking through. Did you omit any specific information?
I would have omitted the meeting with the group that made us stab our hands to form the contract. That's the most.
Okay.
Yeah, the Shifting Sands.
So as I would like you to roll me a deception check, by the way.
Oh man, now fool my mom. I hope so.
I will tell you the deception check is very low on this.
You underestimate how bad my rolls are on D&D Beyond. That's an 8.
So as she's looking through, she starts to get slightly more worried. And the first question she has is, how did you get the information of where to go? You mentioned an empty strip mall, but not anyone who leads you there. And then again, you mentioned going to the sewers, but there's a gap in time between the encounter with the slimes and then the sewers. And then you fought what?
I flinched, very hard.
Did what?
It's okay. We're all good. Nothing bad happened.
You were mind controlled by a myconid sovereign and slowly rotting from the inside out.
Only for a little bit.
You and your father will get me killed. She tosses the clipboard on her desk. I can tell you're hiding some part of it from me, but considering the fact that it wasn't the dangerous part, I assume it's probably just the fact that you went on a date. I don't care.
Okay.
I hide information from you all the time, and I never know what your father does. I don't care.
You have such a good family dynamic.
We're bound to lie by law. The fact that I know what your father does for work is technically illegal.
Yeah, you're right. Even so, it's so nice to be able to lie to you all the time.
It's not... you don't get to directly lie to me. But if you have to withhold information, I will respect that.
That's what I meant.
There's a difference between me respecting your privacy and me allowing you to lie to my face.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's honestly what we've been up to for the past couple of days. It was very surprising to find anything on that, really.
Alright, so those 3 ruffians you've been dealing with, are you going to be staying with them?
Actually, I don't think so for right now. I want to get some stuff from my room, some books I have in there that might be useful later. Just pack up some stuff and maybe in the future. I don't know. Give it a week's time and I'll probably give you an answer.
Okay. If you decide to stick around with them, she lays down 3 what are minor deputy badges. They are a single circular tin with the word deputy written on them in a very simple hammered out font. Here you go.
Are you sure about this?
I'm fine with deputizing 3 people who have saved my son's life.
Okay. I'll grab all 3 of the tins.
At bare minimum, that Ashbone girl is probably worth more than you.
I love you too.
I love you too. She stands up and walks around her desk, and she is slightly taller than you.
Oh my god. Let's go.
She reaches her arms around your shoulders, rests her forehead on yours, and then kisses you on the forehead. I love you too. I'm just worried. And then she, immediately unruffles her suit, goes back to work, and none of those emotions are there anymore. Is there anything else you would like to do, RP-wise?
I just go cover the shifts that my dad said I had to go cover for him.
Okay.
Again, out of guilt.
Roll me 1 perception check while you're there.
Let's see how bad I can roll. Wow.
You're really worried.
That's a nat 20.
All right, so it's not uncommon for people to be wandering around, family of patients or people waiting to be served, or people in the waiting room generally. And in the waiting room, in a very back corner that is somehow less lit than the rest of the room, you spot a thin half-elf girl in black robes. Or rather, black leather wraps. She is leaning back in her chair, just watching you.
Specifically me, not anybody else?
You can identify this as Dusa. You met her in the tavern.
Don't I know you?
Yes, you do.
I never forget her face, but her name. A name! Started with,
I believe your friend calls me the bar now.
Right. What are you doing here? You okay? You need to get checked out?
She pulls out her hand, and there is a massive gash all the way down her hand.
Okay.
I'm actually here on my own business. Don't worry.
So you don't want that checked out?
Oh, no. That's what I mean. I'm here to get my hand checked out, not to deal with you.
I feel so honored. Wow, I'm getting ignored. Yes. And I'll,
She immediately has a dagger in her hand. Would you rather I don't ignore you?
I scratched the back of my neck. Well,
She flips the dagger and immediately sheathes it. I'm joking. You did a good service for my organization. We do the payments back in kind.
I'm sorry. I don't know if we got there too late or we couldn't get to them in time.
It's all right. Agents die. It happens. We expect that. We just wanted to know where they were. It is a loss, and it is sad, but it is not the end of the world.
Okay. Well, are you going to do anything to follow up on that? Because I don't know.
As far as we know, we have no more information. It was a myconid sovereign that was taking control of people. It took control of a few of our agents because we got too close.
All right. Well, how many people are there that are just waiting besides her?
Like 20. Some of them, like one of them has a hole straight through his cheek. A dude's got his nose straight up caved in. And then some of them are like minor scratches. A few of them are undead and their bones are broken, so they need to be remended. It's everything from I got a nail stuck in my finger to I'm literally dying, but I have made my death save, so I'm not going to die just yet.
Okay.
Her injury isn't particularly out of place.
Okay. Well, I would say could take care of you right now, but that guy literally has a hole through his cheek.
I get it. I'm not particularly in need. I would actually prefer not a client. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I want to say good seeing you, but it doesn't feel quite right. So let's go with okay seeing you. All right.
I didn't need to murder you. That's my goodbye.
Give her a thumbs up and like confusedly walk back to take care of the rest.
Moving on to Neumond. Do you have anything you would like to do over the week?
Yes. Neumond is going to look for a place. It doesn't have to be a house, but a more suitable place to live with her 16 dog animal things.
The rent was too high in the alley. I get it.
You have been called homeless far too many times. Couldn't take it anymore.
In all honesty, because you are a rune marked and a rune marked wizard at that, you pretty much can walk up to any empty building in this district, take it, and no one is going to question it.
Nice. Great.
Great,
all
yoink.
She did was move her dogs and herself.
I will also say for both the rune marked, there are a lot of empty buildings in your district. There are very few actual rune marked who live. There is maybe a third of the population of each other district. Anyone else have anything else they would like to do, RP or mechanics wise?
Did I get any information from that bar?
You were looking for information on myconids?
Yes, basically on the recent news, I guess.
Okay. Recent news is different. Most of the recent news is what I have posted in the newspapers.
Okay, then myconids.
As for myconids, you're not going to get very much from the bar whispers, but there is whispers of them being mostly not hostile, and like some people who have met them find them cute. If you would like to, in this week, talk to Liam about myconids, he can show you the myconid monster manual.
Yeah, that'd probably be something to know, something to learn about. That'd be nice.
Anyone else?
I would like to talk to my family.
Before we start with that, quick refresher, how old is the quintuplets?
I believe they're all mid-teens.
You knock on your family door, and it's quiet. And then it's not. Immediately, the second one of your siblings looks out the window and yells, "It's Liam!" You hear all 5 of them, footsteps running towards the door. As much as you would like to be able to tell them apart, they are identical quintuplets. So, one of them bursts the door open and tackles you. Another one wild shapes into a basic house cat and lands on your face. A third one, noticing that you're about to fall off one of the wood bridges, immediately casts Earthscape, which works on these branches, and makes a little dip so that you don't fall into the swamp. And then the last one is just sitting there looking at all of this. Or the last 2, rather, are just sitting there looking at all of this.
Can I take Felice with me?
Yes, by all means.
Why would you take me with you?
In that case, the one who turned into a cat landed on Felice's face.
Just probably would like pick them up as she does with her usual cat, just a little bit amused. Like, what do you think you're doing?
Wow.
It's really amazing how difficult it is to tell them apart.
As you get there, Felice, this is absolutely strange for you. Liam, you're absolutely used to this. But it is a massive, like, 3-story house that is built out of this tree that is bent and turned, and the wood itself is molded so that it fits together so that it makes this house. There are vines growing up everywhere. You see, instead of carpet, there are patches of grass that is growing straight out of the woodwork. What flat ground there is instead of being shaved wood, it's polished bark. Most of the furniture itself is molded out of either some sort of a mushroom growing out of the wood, or the wood itself branching up into something. A lot of the materials are wicker and braided, and some of them are still being braided by the vines themselves on the wall. There is pot plants full of every spice and herb and magical ingredient that you can find. From upstairs, you hear, "Liam, is that you?" And from downstairs, "All right, laddies, get off him." As this big, burly... You're human, right, Liam?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so. This big, burly, like 6'3", hairy, bare-chested, leather-strapped strap across the chest, bow slung along the back. No quiver currently, but the bow is still there, even though it's not currently being functionally used. Barely, like, leather tattered shorts, and the entire skin is pocked with either a mix of acid marks or claw marks. This ranger is Liam's father. Hey, what are you doing back here? I thought you were on a job.
We finished the job finished pretty early, so.
All right.
Felice will like sort of whisper to Liam, just like, "Your father doesn't get any less intimidating the more I see him."
He claps you on the shoulder. It's all right, Felice. Now, what are we doing?
Tall. I'm 2 feet tall. He's bent over.
He gets to a knee to slap you on the shoulder. He is, even on a knee, still taller than you will ever even conceivably think to be.
Yeah. Yes.
He is 4 foot tall on a knee. He is, and as much as he is built, he is not built like a weightlifter. He is very much so built for running and climbing. And down from the stairs, coming down, Liam, it's so good to hear you're here. This elegant dress made out of leaves and vines stitched together with this crown that is just holly twigs. Flowing hair that was at one point probably a deep red, which is now fading to a gray, not from age, but just from being covered in every sort of powdered mushroom and what's it called, pollen. And as she shakes her hair off, a little bit of dust just like settles to the ground. Her entire body is covered in like pouches and like little sacks hanging on a bandolier, and she's got this gnarled wooden staff with just this weird dragon-like claw set atop it, fusing into the wood. Liam, darling, what has you here?
Yep.
Felice! Liam's mother runs over, picks you up straight up into a hug, and shakes you a little bit. And this is where you realize Liam's mother is just as tall as Liam's father.
Yes, ma'am. Please put me down.
All of your family besides these two are short. Your siblings are very short for even their age.
They'll get there.
Felice is gonna like pat her on the arm, just like, yes, I get it. Please put me down.
She starts, like, she pulls a comb out of a random sack and starts just playing with your hair, holding you and, like, hugging you gently.
She'd be doing that to a wig, so probably would have, like, yoinked off the wig and immediately went to, like, the true hair, just like, oh god.
I mean, if it's a well enough set wig, she's combing gently, she'll comb through the wig.
Okay. Yeah.
Especially if you're wearing a wig to Liam's parents' house, they're probably used to you wearing a wig to their house.
Yeah. She wears it pretty much everywhere, so probably, yeah.
Yep. She sets you down gently and then leans on her husband.
Thank God.
Would you like some... Actually, And she immediately dashes to the kitchen. Would you like some tea?
Tea. How common is tea in the Ashbone Barrows?
Tea in the Ashbone Barrows is actually fairly common, as is a lot of other dried herbs and spices.
Oh, that would make sense. Sure, why not?
Gently decline the tea.
Okay. She brings out this, what looks to be what was at one point a very nice wooden carved tea platter, and the only metal thing you can see in this house, which is the teapot itself. She sets it down on a table, pulls up some chairs for everyone, and pours it out, and it is thick. It is black and green, and one of the cups has a little, like, sprig just fall into it. She sets only tea for you and her, as she knows the rest of the family will not accept tea.
Have I had this before?
I don't know. Have you had this before?
Probably.
All right. Are you going to drink it?
Yeah.
All right. Your entire senses get hit with a mix of menthol and like a little bit of spice from like cinnamon and then cloves, and then after that there's just earth, just like dirt.
Yeah, it's been a while since I tasted this. Delicious every time.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Yes,
He's just sipping it like nothing's wrong. Okay. Now, what do you have for, lad?
Well, there was a bit of trouble on our last job.
Alright.
The client came to my abode looking for someone to find some people.
Not terribly unusual in this area.
So I accepted the job, and that led me to a group of, I'll say, I would wager very unsavory individuals.
No.
Unsavory to the point where I was held at knife point to hold up collateral of some sort to make sure I would do the job, which, you know, Ranger's honor, I do my job.
I hate them.
So that was not good. However, we did manage to run into two other people also on more or less the same objective, so we managed to get a party together, and that helped us immensely. The main thing I wanted to talk about was, can I like gesture with spores out in my hands?
Yes. I was going to DM you this. Your spores range is touch, but after you have touched someone and bonded with them, you have a range of 500 feet.
500 feet, okay.
So you can brush off a few spores. They start to turn black almost immediately as they leave your hand. I will...
Liam, really quickly, actually. I've had this thought for a while, but did this group give you their name?
Yeah, Shifting Sands.
I keep thinking...
As soon as you say Shifting Sands, Felice will kind of turn a little white. Like, not just makeup white. Kind of, oh my, oh, scared white. And kind of look down where the mark had been in almost this kind of pale terror. Oh my god. She'll actually start to do she'll start to do breathing exercises just to calm down.
The summation of the hunt was that the people we were looking for had already been deceased and were being utilized utilized as nutrients for Myconid Sovereign.
One of your siblings immediately goes, bullshit! And your mother immediately turns to him, now, watch your tone. The language is fine, but watch your tone.
Wanna bet?
There is not a point in which Myconids would ever be hostile.
They say hostile.
They would not take any corpses not freely given.
So that makes you wonder, why were there corpses there? The summation of it is, the Myconid Sovereign currently was unable to continue sustaining itself due to various troubles of various natures thrown at it, and towards that reason, it required secondary for lack of a better word, vessel. That's why I'm housing it currently.
As much as I am very uncomfortable with the fact that you are now hosting something that I essentially killed, and I mean, from what I heard, they seem to not be, but still a little strange. I'm glad you're all right, though, at the very least.
As you're discussing this, Liam, your hair starts to go white, and a couple of mushrooms start growing down the back of your neck. Not intentionally, but the Sovereign is waking up at being mentioned.
Does Liam notice this?
Yes. It gives him a minor itch on the back of his neck, and the hair is pretty obvious. Both you, Felice, and the family members there watch as Liam's face shifts. His jaw gets a little softer, his nose starts to squish inwards. And almost a flat face, where the eyes are almost non-existent, the nose is almost gone, and the mouth is barely a slit, appears. I do apologize. I did not mean any harm.
Oh. As strange as that is, I'm assuming you are, being we were talking about, yes?
I am the head of the colony, yes. We were not. And that is when it fades back to Liam's face as all of the mushroom-like features immediately start to rot off. His hair grows immediately back to its regular color. The mushrooms rot off. Liam, you know that this is the Sovereign having very little power to actually do anything right now.
Yes, I'd much prefer your face over that, but it does not seems nice enough, I suppose. You know what he was going to say?
He went back to sleep immediately.
They're still trying to recover some of their... That was probably quite taxing.
Probably.
Okay. That's the summation.
All of your siblings, by the way, are in awe.
I would like to bask.
This is the first time you have been in a room with your siblings being silent, and they're all slack-jawed, and their own mushrooms are they have mushrooms that they've put into their hair for style, and they're all jealous.
Let's go.
They immediately all swarm you, and we are going to fade to black on them swarming you. The week ends. You're all sitting in your respective homes. Neumond, your house probably was furnished when you found it, but it's all really old. Old furniture. Perseus, your father is taking the day off. Most likely because he worked the last 8 days straight and did night shifts for 3 of them, which means your only job to work at is your mother's. Liam, there has been no sign from the gardener. And Felice, you are assumedly staying at Liam's place, still dealing with that.
Yeah.
None of you have had any inkling of anything going on. All right. I'm going to start with Neumond. The week is up. You have been resting with your dogs for the past week. What would you like to do? You all vaguely said that you were thinking about meeting up in a week, but no one has said anything to you, unless Perseus has specifically come to talk to you.
Okay.
If nothing else, you do have the job with Perseus' mother.
Yes, no, I know about that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to do. No, I don't think there's anything I would really want to do as of right now, so I'd probably just go to the job.
So I heard about your incursion with the Myconids. You handled yourself very well. Here is your stipend. She hands you a pouch with 50 gold in it. In order to keep you safe, I have a very simple task for you and Perseus if he ever shows up. She turns around a very, very small clipboard with a simple synopsis of what would be a cold case, a case that is not gone through anywhere in several years, and no one has any information. We have a missing woman, one Esmeralda Timpani. She went missing about 3 years ago, and recently a friend came inquiring about her to see if we had any information. Well, her husband has not been very forthright. We best can assume that she has run off. If not, probably stopped giving a shit about her husband. Please look into this. And she slides the clipboard towards you. The basic information is an undertaker by the name of Diego Valdez has inquired about Esmeralda Timpani, who is the wife to Lord Jonathan Timpani, and who went missing as of 3 years ago. Jonathan did not request the first case and was not very helpful while the original investigator was pursuing the case, but did not in any way outright lie. Jonathan has presumed that his wife ran off with some vagabond, as he put it. Some vagabond is in is in quotations. The last place she was seen was at the Tenpenny Manor. Other than that, this is a case from 3 years ago. There's almost no information to be had. Probably no way to solve it. Perseus,
It's me.
you have a day off.
No way.
Yeah, your dad's not going in, and you only go in when he goes in, so you got a day off. What are you doing?
I would be trying to find a book on giants.
All right, roll me a history or arcana check.
I hate D&D Beyond. It's a 10 for Arcana.
You find a book labeled The Giant and His Dog. It is a kid's novel about a 7-foot-tall man and his tiny chihuahua puppy. That is it.
Oh, man. You know what? I came all this way. It might not be what I wanted, but I'll take it so I don't leave empty-handed. How much is the book? I want this giant chihuahua.
It's a library.
That's a library?
As long as you bring it back by next week, no one gives a shit.
All right, I'll check it out, man. I guess I'm reading it.
A little old lady who's a little taller than you'd expect, who's kind of hobbled over the desk, gives you an odd look as you check out this like thin picture book for children.
I give her an embarrassed smile.
Well, I hope your nephew enjoys it.
It's a classic. I hope
Not really.
he does too.
Not really. The writers' other works were better.
Yeah, you know what? The author did kind of fall off after this one. He never was the same.
I don't know. The author fell off after his first book, and when he fell off that horse.
He never walked the same again. Poor person.
Well, no, he was undead after that.
Never walked the same again.
Yeah, I think he didn't even have to walk. I'm pretty sure he was a geist.
Well, I guess okay. Nice.
That is the end of that exchange. Are you going to go to your mother's?
Yes.
Okay. You walk in as Neumond is walking out.
Why does he have a chihuahua? Like, I don't understand. Like, what's the point?
What are you talking about?
Huh?
You
My
see
hide-
No, Neumond, I'd like you to make me a perception check. Perseus, make me a sleight of hand check.
Jesse, what are you talking about?
I rolled good once.
Holy shit, that was correct.
That was enough.
It was one off. He hides the book before you get any chance to look at what he's holding. So you don't know that he was reading a book.
What are you talking about?
Oh, just this. It's he was like, what are you doing here?
Okay. I was getting, I got a mission cold case from your mom.
Really? What's it about?
About a lady that went missing 3 years ago.
Is she just giving us this so we have something to do?
That's what I've assumed at this point, but I don't know. It doesn't really have any leads besides a friend who called it in. The husband wasn't very, he didn't have a lot to say. He didn't, lie, but he didn't really give a lot of information either. He kind of just thinks she ran off somewhere.
Would you like some of that? It's supposed to be my day off, but...
I wouldn't mind. You can come along with me on this.
Wow, I can come along. I feel so honored.
I would assume we head to the manor since that's the last place that was on here.
All right. While you head to the manor, Liam or Felice, whoever decides to do so first.
Go to my business associate,
Which business associate?
the one I went to last time.
The witch doctor?
Yes.
What would you like?
Do I have a picture of that mask?
Yes, you have a perfect rendition of the mask.
Have you ever seen something like this before?
I mean, it looks like something from Blackwell. I don't know. Religious item? Ghost relic? Ancient tomb? Some dude's hobby painting? I don't know.
But if I wanted to know where I would find something related to this, Blackwell would be a good start.
If it's a religious item of Blackwell, or otherwise it could be from the Tyrant, it could be some child's art project, I don't know. It looks like it's vaguely Blackwell.
Alright.
See this? And he taps on the forehead. There is a pattern of vines that is slowly rotting in and caving in towards the brow. This looks like it's Blackwell imagery, but not exactly.
Could it be someone trying to imitate Blackwell imagery?
Look, I have a specialty in monsters and herbs. Why are you asking me?
Well, you have a specialty in monsters and herbs.
This is very man-made. You do realize you are the only person who lives within maybe a mile of my house? And the only reason for that is that you moved in down the fucking street.
Is this true? Do you know anything that could help the Myconid colony regain strength?
Food? Time?
Any
I
recommended
don't know.
diets?
They're decomposites. They turn any biological material into mush and then consume the nutrients. They eat literal garbage, my dude. You could plant it in the ground in the bottom of the swamp and it would probably thrive. Plant it in the ground, as long as there's sufficient amount of dirt, it's going to be fine. Somewhere cold, wet, and dark. Felice.
Ah.
Are you just following Liam?
No.
What are you doing?
This time. Well, she kind of wants to go look for more salt, because salt is always useful, but
Roll
probably
me a
wouldn't go to the
perception
same
check.
spot.
And then after that, roll me an investigation check to find salt.
13.
13. Good thing she's not trying to be hidden.
Huh?
As you're walking down the alleyway, you see Dusa leaning against the wall, watching you. Question. This is an important question. Do you have your cat out normally?
Probably. She doesn't really have any reason to put it away.
Okay, then I will warn you culturally. That will spook
Does she?
people.
Oh, then she probably does have a reason to put it away. It's not
Yes.
there then.
Yes. It's not, like, gonna spook a lot of people, but, like, ghosts of animals are rare.
Yeah. People probably don't like ghosts.
And the
like that.
more specifically, the Ashbone barrows don't like ghosts. Rune-marked hegemony has a lot of ghosts, like a lot of ghosts. But Ashbone considers it a bad omen. They consider it that the idea that there is a soul snatcher around who has bound their soul to something or other.
Ah, okay.
You probably, when you were a kid, were called soul snatcher a few times.
Yeah. Would not be surprised. Okay. And then I rolled a 14 for finding salt.
All right, you find no vendors with salt.
Sure, I'll get salt one way or another. Can I go into a music shop and see if she'll follow?
You slide into a music shop. Roll me a perception check.
16.
She looks like she's trying to enter without you noticing, but you do catch her.
Okay. Well, I would like
Felice.
to buy a flute if there's one available.
That'll be 10 silver. And as you finish your purchase, all right, Felice. I know you've seen me. Baldorath would like to speak with you.
Oh, right, of course. Sure. I would like to let someone know ahead of time.
Don't honestly care as long as you're not telling them specifically who you're coming to meet, unless it's someone who already knows us.
Well, technically, technically he does.
Alright, then let your boyfriend know. I don't care.
Fair enough. I would like to use message.
You are not within message range of Liam.
Not within message range. Okay.
Message range is 120 feet. Liam is 5 miles away.
Oh.
Liam is currently in the far end of the Blackwater community. You are currently in, at best, the near end, but most likely you had to go into the city proper because the Black Well will not sell to you as you are not a convert.
That is fair. She just will be like, well, let's just go get this over with.
Alright. I don't know why you're so afraid of us. We're doing nothing nefarious. She walks you, you're currently on Market, she walks you down to the crossroads of Market and Tavern, then up Tavern Street. You get to the hide and the barkeep is leaning on the bar and the place is already cleared out. You're the first one I found today. He drops a very thick pouch with a lot of gold in it.
And?
You did us a service. I've been waiting for one of your companions to collect.
I suppose. Alright. She'll just take the gold, kind of sort
you
through it.
You have 400 gold.
Okay. Sure thing.
Would like to speak with all of you again, if you can gather your companions.
Will it involve a mark this time?
It will not.
Interesting. Alright, I'll see what I can do. Then she will just say her goodbyes and go.
Neumond and Perseus, you are both walking down the street, and you realize that the address you are being led to is not in the rune-marked area. It is in the city proper, which is a rare sight because there are plenty of houses in the rune-marked territories, so it's kind of odd that someone would try to have a manor in the cramped city.
While we were walking, I gave Perseus the clipboard so he could read the information as well. Just want to say that. Forgot to.
You're about halfway down Market Street. You're about to take a turn onto Business Avenue 3. And you know that at the back of Business Avenue 3, it will hit Sub Avenue 4, and that will get you to the residence.
Okay.
Is there anything you would like to do before you get to the Tinpenny residence?
Gonna ask Neumond, how have you been holding up since, the mushroom days? And
I'm holding up alright. It was a lot to take in. The week was nice to get away from all of it, though. Yeah, having something like that happen made me kind of rethink a lot of things, so I decided that I was going to move off of the streets. And now I own a residence.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, that's great.
Me and my 16
Aren't the dogs going to miss you, though?
They're there.
Oh, you're taking the 16 creatures with you.
They're already there. They're there now.
How are you going to pay for all their food?
We survive well.
That is not an answer.
No, but I'm alright. How are you holding up, actually? With what happened?
I'm going to be honest with you. It was pretty scary. I mean, we've been to the sewers before, right? So that wasn't anything too crazy. But after being told what happened by Felice, let's just assume we all talked about it afterwards, okay? Cool, that's canon now. Awesome.
Yeehaw!
So yeah, after talking about it, I don't know. I felt just very disappointed in myself. I could have done more. Yeah.
Could have slapped yourself.
I feel like I could have. It wasn't enough. We just kind of went over there. There wasn't really any control of the situation. I got slapped twice.
Yeah, I wasn't really there mentally for a lot of it, so I don't really... Yeah, a lot of that I didn't have to see. I only, realized it afterward, but it's just, we've gone down there before, so I don't know, like, why did the, I don't know.
I got scared for you. You know, you were in there pretty bad, almost as much as that Liam got.
Yeah, no.
But you weren't trying to run into a hole full of dead people.
Thought you were gonna kill him when you did that, but you just knocked him out, which was good.
At about this point in the walk and talk, you get to a very tall building with a placard with a bunch of different names on it.
All right. Let's see. Right here, we have to find was it Jonathan Timpany?
Yes, it is. He is on the 5th floor, suite number 3. As you make the trek up 5 flights of stairs, all the way up to what would be the top of the building, you notice that there are only 4 actual doors as you exit the hallway. Each of them labeled. You go and knock on the one labeled Tinpenny. What? Who is it?
Hey, John, Mr. Timpany, is it? Is that you?
Hell you want? Don't take solicitors.
We're not soliciting. We're actually from the. Do we have a name for the mother's agency? I can't remember.
You generally would just say we are investigators from the Wordmark Hedgehog.
Yeah, we're investigators doing a follow up about your wife, Esmeralda.
Or fucking left.
That's the one.
Don't fucking give a shit. Slams the door in your face.
I knock again.
Fuck off.
Then why'd you put this request in then?
He didn't put the request in.
Okay.
Diego Valdez put the request in.
Do you at least know where we could find? What was the person's name who put the request in again? Sorry.
Diego Valdez.
Diego.
Do you at least know where we could find Diego Valdez?
Who?
Diego Valdez? Ring a name?
I don't fucking know. You know how many names I hear as a fucking magistrate? Now, if you don't get off my goddamn property, I'm gonna take you to fucking court.
We should just go.
With a personality like that, I don't know why she left. Diego Valdez. Where the heck can we find a Diego Valdez?
The best you can deduce is you would have to go to a library and try and look up literally records of people. The equivalent of the Yellow Pages, but like instead of one giant book, it's you have to search through every goddamn list of people. Unless you can think of any other way that you can get information on someone in the city.
Would the authorities... I'm guessing they would have also gotten... We are the main authorities?
You are the authorities. Your mother is an official investigator. You're basically cops.
So wouldn't we have records then?
Yes, that would be the thing you would have to go search through.
Yeah.
I guess let's head to the library. Can't believe we have to walk down those 5 sets of stairs again.
It's okay. When you run with dogs, you're used to walking a lot of places.
But I don't walk a lot of places with
Roll me a
dogs.
Constitution saving throw.
It's what I do. Oh my god. Can I roll something good for once? That's an 8.
Yikes.
How many times I rolled an 8 this session? Like 3 times now?
You know what? Do you have physical dice?
No, I could roll off Google, if anything.
If you don't got physical dice, you're using D&D Beyond. Suck it. If you have physical dice, I will allow you to roll with physical dice, but if you keep getting this unlucky, I'm calling it luck and you're using D&D Beyond.
I'm not buying dice. Are you crazy? I'm good. I'll take the
Bro,
8,
you'd
whatever.
probably only die, and you would probably only have to buy 1 d20.
Are you insane? You know what I do
Yes.
to my street cred? I can't be out here
street
buying
cred?
dice.
You are officially winded for the next minute.
I hate stairs.
LMAO.
Disadvantage on any physical check.
Why couldn't I just be born with wings?
Back to Liam. What would you like to do?
You know what? I'll head to Blackwell. Or Blackwell.
All right. You head to the gates of Blackwell Commune. They look down at you. Fuck off.
Can I still go in?
Fuck off.
Okay, maybe you're gonna help me. Have you ever seen this mask before?
If I did, I wouldn't tell an outsider like you. Fuck off.
Oh, come on, man.
While this one is particularly vulgar, you do know that they are very, very like closed off community to the point where you are not allowed to enter unless you are a convert. Or you are invited in by someone leading the church.
Well,
Remember, this is a cult commune.
it's a cult. Well, looks like I'll have to take my investigation elsewhere.
Where would you like to take it?
Let's see, place do I know that's reputable for good information?
The library.
Yeah, the library is probably a good idea.
All right.
I will.
You head to the library. Felice,
Yes.
you have been tasked with finding all three of your companions and giving them the money from their quest.
I don't think I can like GPS track everybody to the library. So would Liam have told her that he was heading out to the witch doctor?
That would be on Liam.
Yeah, he would have told you.
Okay, so then she'll go there, ask him where Liam is.
I don't fucking know. Sorry, wrong voice. Why do both of you come in asking me stupid questions? You know what? If you find him, give him this. He drops a very rank-smelling brown pouch. He was asking about myconid food. This is the best fertilizer I can think of.
Oh. She looks down at it like with a different expression now. Still layers it in another bag, but now she knows the reason for it.
It is a bag full of a mix of rot and poop.
Yeah.
Yummy.
Just kind of walks
fact-
out of there, just like.
In fact, Liam, you do still have a sense of taste.
Not yummy.
Actually, can I ask him how long ago Liam was here?
2 hours, 3 hours, I don't know.
Oh, great. He could be anywhere. Oh, gosh.
Stealing
Okay,
Liam's
well.
accent.
Shut up. Alright. Well, I guess I'll be on my way. Thank you.
All right. We hit the library. Perseus and Neumond, you hit there first.
Are we just entering or are we there?
You are just entering, and the librarian looks over at Perseus. Here for some more books for your nephew. And it's
What?
not quite the voice that I had said.
What is she talking about?
Well, you see, where can we find records of people we are looking for to
Official
find?
business. Records are in the back. You want subsection A, then you want the... Are you looking for living, dead, or undead?
Ooh. Does the paper say if he was living or dead?
She's a missing person. You don't know. Diego, you know the name Diego Valdez exists.
Looking for a man named Diego Valdez. I honestly don't know if he's alive or dead.
That he put this request in like 3 days ago. So he's probably either alive or undead.
Let's start with alive.
Roll me a investigation check.
My first decent roll of the day. 15.
The good news is for both of you, it's in alphabetical order. By last name. You find V, then get to VA, and you find an entire family of Valdez. There is no Diego.
Okay. Does it say
my
anything
God.
else besides their name? Or does it just say their names?
This specific list is a list of current residences.
How many Valdezes are there?
About 25.
Oh my god.
What else is in there then? Besides their name, like
it
their
is-
houses? Like living?
It is their name, their specific address, and most likely some basic information about, like a basic description. This is literally an index of people. This is the census.
Okay.
You find a Maria Valdez, mother of 3, 2 daughters labeled Sophia and Henrietta Valdez. You find a Jonathan Valdez. You find a guy named Cancanus Valdez. There is no marked address, and the only thing that is stated is weird.
For all of them or just
Just for him.
Okay.
The rest of them have addresses and information.
Do any of them have like a daughter? Like, because it names all of the kids, right? Like they also have, since it is a census. There's no Esmeralda among the listed.
There is no Esmeralda Valdez among the listed.
He had to give us a fake name too. Who does that?
Liam, this is about the time in which you entered the library. You do not know that Neumond and Perseus are here.
Well, I would like to. Is there someone I can do an image search with?
You can ask the librarian.
Librarian.
Well, what you have here looks to be a cultural icon of some kind. Either that or a child's carving. You would want Subsection B, and just based on the fact that you look like you're covered in mud, I'm gonna guess it's probably Blackwater. So, Subsection B, Blackwater, check the 3rd shelf through 5th shelf.
3rd through 5th shelf, Subsection B. Got it.
Subsection B, section Blackwater, 3rd shelf through 5th shelf.
Blackwater B, 3 for 5. Thank you, madam.
Yeah, if you don't find it, don't be surprised. I would like you to make an investigation check as you look through 3 shelves, full to the brim of individual descriptions of cultural artifacts that have been found in the Blackwater swamp.
Nat 20.
Hurrah.
Only 20.
So you get through about half a shelf, and your hand immediately shudders to the left, grabs a small book off the shelf, and throws it to the ground. It immediately flips open and falls, and has a perfect image of the mask. You hear in your mind, "Book smelled like him." This mask is listed as the Mask of the Tyrants Followed. And that's it. It's listed under unknown use, found in one of the ruins of the swamp. The original mask was half covered in acid, and the recreation of it was considered impossible, so the lower half of the mask is a plain wooden design, while the upper half of the mask is etched in with intricate flowers. And those flowers are rotting towards the center.
And this was the Mask of the Tyrants Follows, correct?
Yes. There have only been one Mask of the Tyrants Follows found. It was half destroyed, and it currently has it listed as an art piece owned by F&F Industries and put on display in the free-use Rune Mart Museum. Having found that almost immediately, you start to walk out, and hear Perseus having a fucking fit about trying to look through the Valdezes.
I was at 25 Valdezes, but not a single one of them was Diego!
I'm just going to walk around the corner and be like,
The
okay.
librarian, who now that you see standing is almost 8 feet tall, and her entire body is morphed and distended. Instead of having just one elbow, she has 2, one going in reverse. Her legs are bowed outwards, and she has massively long fingers, looks around the corner at you, holds up one of these fingers, and then scuttles back to the desk.
Like to round the corner.
You round the corner.
Do I see a flamboyantly dressed gentleman?
Yes, you do. And also one Neumond on the floor looking through a bunch of, census papers.
Well, this is a fair bit of luck.
I like to imagine that Neumond is gnawing on one of the pages, like one of her dogs.
Dog.
Nah, I like to have the idea that she's got, just a bone in her mouth she's chewing on.
I like to imagine the librarian has, a set of pre-prepared treats for any pets to come into the library.
No.
Getting the treats? No.
No.
Oh my
Neumond's
God.
just got, she's got a sack of bones for her summons, and then she's got a sack of bones that aren't useful for summons that are easy to chew on.
Her Scooby snacks, dude.
There's Scooby snacks!
The Neumond
It
snack
helps
bag.
me. It helps me concentrate. We're looking at the page. Well, I'm looking at the pages while sitting on the ground.
I will tell you, with your rolls, you know you will not find a Diego Valdez in the living section.
Switch over to Esmeralda then. Tenpenny.
Would you like to look for Esmeralda Timpani?
I would love to.
With the roll you had, you can easily find Esmeralda Timpani. Her current location is marked as missing and unknown.
They really do update these a lot, huh?
That was 3 years ago, my dude.
I know.
Can I look at
It's still in the public
Jonathan Timpani?
Jonathan Symphony?
If he's alive.
He's alive. Yeah, you know he's alive. You saw him living.
Yeah, that's what I want to look up him to see if there's anything.
Under his description, it gives a similar brief description of what you saw, which was a taller humanoid man, maybe elf, but his hair covered his ears, with a rune mark of a gavel all along his arm, wearing half-decent suit. He is listed as the son of Lord Henry Timpany, and both of their occupations are marked as magistrate. Which, for those of you who don't know what a magistrate is like a judge, but worse.
Is the address for Lord Henry?
It's the same address.
The same address?
Oh, sorry, Lord Henry Timpany?
Yes.
Yes.
No. His address is currently unknown.
Okay.
It is not unknown because it is not known to the census. It is blacked out and redacted as he is a high-level governmental official.
No wife, no husband, nothing?
Mother, siblings.
No bitches?
Sure.
There is no wife currently mentioned. You are also in the living section, and by his age, Henry Timpany is about 80.
Oh, hey, Liam.
Hey, how's it going?
Were you standing here long?
What's your definition of long?
From the corner, you do see the librarian looking at you, holding a finger up, and then disappearing behind a bookshelf again.
An inside voice. I've been here a few minutes.
What are you in here for?
Well, I was looking for something related to the mushrooms.
Anything interesting?
I have a couple ideas of where to go.
At least somebody has an idea. We can't find anything. 25 Valdez's. 25. Not a single Diego.
What are you
Almost
looking
as many
for?
dogs as I have.
I thought you had 16. When'd you get 9 more?
Almost.
You have more than
Like-
25 dogs?
You have more than 25?
I'd like to imagine that Neumond is like trying to count on their finger and they're like, wait, no, that wasn't the number.
They just like start pulling out extra fingers and just like.
Starts laying out bones to count as a tally mark.
Oh, that's so cute.
My bones representing.
Hey, aren't you missing someone? Isn't there usually, smaller, around yay high? Fiery red hair, yay high?
Sometimes they're around, sometimes they're not.
Well, I guess that is how it is, huh?
People have their own business to attend to, and I'm not going to drag anyone else around with me.
Meanwhile, Felice in the corner of some alleyway. Where are you?
Liam, would you have imprinted with Felice?
As long as they consent, yes.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Wouldn't seen the harm in it.
Well, then I would like Felice to roll me a straight D20 roll.
18?
At about halfway through you're running down an alley, you get a weird fuzzy feeling in the back of your head as your connection with Liam reestablishes. Meaning you are within the telepathic range.
Oh? What? Would that have been described to me at all?
You would have felt this fuzzy feeling before, though if Liam hasn't used telepathy on you, you don't know what that means.
Yeah. Very, very confused.
The bonding process, Liam would have rested his hand somewhere on you, and, like, spores would have hit your skin, and you would have gotten, like, a weird, itchy, fuzzy feeling in the back of your head. And that was it. Liam, you know that Felice is within 500 feet of you.
I'd like to imagine that Felice is just immersed herself. Wait, this isn't alcohol. What? I'm completely sober.
Completely sober.
You're completely sober, but you're tripping balls.
The mushroom effect. Oh, God, I'm
I'm
high.
completely sober.
You're tripping balls, Maximus! Back to the conversation between Neumond, Perseus, and Liam.
So, what are you looking for?
Well, we had this missing person. It's supposed to be a cold case, so probably just some busy work. Right? Busy work? I'd say it's busy work.
Yeah, it's always busy work.
That's how it feels like. Actually, that reminds me. You know what? Yeah, here, take one of these. And I'll toss you a tin badge that just says deputy on it.
It looks like the type of badge you would give to a child. No, not even. The types of badge you give to children are shiny and interesting. This looks like the type of badge no child would ever pick up.
You like a sidelong look.
And with this, you're you've been deputized. You have the full power of yada yada yada. Basically,
I love the idea of him having a thing that he's actually supposed to recite, like a full-on thing, and he just doesn't.
the power of the invested in us by something something something. Listen. So, with that, if you want, you have been deputized, and you're practically, kind of, maybe, sort of, a bit, like, you're the authorities, like us, so.
You're going to see a very mischievous smile.
I will say, though, if you do act up, we do not claim responsibility.
Yes, you do.
I still say that.
The smile grows.
I'm just warning you, if anyone on your team fucks up, it is entirely your fault, Perseus.
I will not do what I'm thinking about doing. But man is attempting.
Just as a rule of thumb, though, don't do anything goofy.
Dude.
Too goofy.
I am a completely upstanding individual.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? I did get that vibe from it. If I'm honest, it might be the mushrooms.
He looks like a craggy homeless person, man.
Okay, Neumond is right there.
I said homeless. I said homeless in a respectful, economic fashion.
I have a home now, okay? So that doesn't even fit anymore.
It said
Probably
homeless.
still looks it.
Oh my god.
Ironically, Neumond looks way less homeless than Liam does.
Well, yeah.
I also have another one for your. What are you two?
Partner.
You're like partner?
Partner.
I don't know what the
like
relationship
duo.
is. Duo.
Good cop, bad cop.
Associate.
Good cop.
Co-worker. Associate.
The person you're always around.
You're sweet thing.
You do know her name is Felice, by the way.
I know.
Okay.
It's like, Liam's just very entertained about how you're just like throwing out all these monikers. It's just
Like friends, more than friends, best friends.
Hated enemies.
So that-
Sibling?
So, do you accept it or not?
They are not a sibling.
Liam, do you accept it or not?
Except what? Sure.
The thing is, sure?
Seems just
All right, cool. Come over here and help us now. You're bound.
Liam, are you going to do anything with the fact that Felice is within 500 feet of you? And
Yeah,
you can telepathically message them?
Can I, well, they're throwing out like, all these
Titles.
yeah, titles. Can I just, like, send them along the thought train?
Send the titles?
Yeah, I'm just like the title you say.
So,
Like,
Felice,
compadre.
in your head, you get the perfect image of Perseus from Liam's
Life
perspective,
partner.
listing off different descriptors of your and Liam's relationship.
And I'm imagining that this is like all like phantasmal, just like this is similar to the whispering that she receives from like her tales. So she's just
Your
like
main
so incredibly
squeeze.
confused. Like why is this tale whispering to her about relationship status?
It is absolutely different, by the way. Your tale, someone comes and whispers in your ear. This is images flashing in your mind.
Oh,
As if you are recalling a memory you would never have had the ability to make.
Your
Just-
you know?
just the one thought that you get from her is what? Especially at the sibling one.
Yeah, the sibling. The sibling?
Like third
Yeah.
cousin twice removed.
Oh no.
Also, from the images, you can tell they are in the library. It is very, very vividly an image of like Perseus in front of a
Okay.
bookshelf.
Okay, if I can tell that this is Liam's perspective, right? Just like visually make that kind of connection.
You can see his hood in his periphery. You can see his arms in his periphery.
You're associate.
Okay.
Why
She's
you-
just gonna book it to the library.
You're
Roll me a dexterity check.
propinquity,
Okay.
maybe even
That is 12.
Well,
your liaison.
You stumble and like trip a little bit, and a few more of the relationship statuses roll out, and
Alliance. Consanguinity.
But you do make it to the library doors.
Love.
Do you slow down upon entering the library?
I'm assuming that Felice has at least been in the library once, so she will very respectfully slow down.
Amorous entanglement.
Entanglement.
Felice, roll me a charisma saving throw not to make a noise out loud at that one.
You're affair to the core.
14.
Okay. You make it. Barely. You
Affair of the heart.
gag a little bit. Not like in response, but like you choke up, like swallow a bit of spit and try not to cough.
Your other half.
Can I please can I roll for stealth?
Yes, give me a stealth roll. I would like Neumond, Liam, and Perseus to tell me what their passive wisdom is.
That's
How do
a 9. That's a
What's
9.
your wisdom What's your wisdom modifier? I can tell you the rest.
+3. Oh,
Okay,
modifier?
Yes, +3.
Yeah, so it's like no point.
Your kin.
If you keep going, she's going to stop in front of you and be like, wow, you really have some thoughts on our relationship, huh?
Your. I can't think
Here.
of any other ones. That's all the words
Yeah,
I know.
So are you guys like siblings or something?
No.
If you say that word again, I'm going to throw you out of here, please. No! Not at all! You have no idea! Does
You know,
not
like
matter.
a common
You can try.
ancestry.
Do we look like siblings to you?
You know,
I mean,
you collect people's
Side by
vomit.
side.
You grab people's vomit. I don't really know.
One is 2 feet tall, dressed in like ornate jewelry.
And very
Looking
dark
like-
skin and
Yeah.
would I have seen stranger like families come across like my dad's work?
Oh my god.
Absolutely. You saw you saw a woman who was a goblin with her human husband and their hobgoblin child. Yes.
I've seen like a goblin and the human and their hobgoblin child. Anything's possible. So what's the affinity like?
Honestly, I don't really find how that's any of your concern.
Suffice it to say that Felice is not a sibling of mine.
It's good enough for me.
Police is just
Alright,
like
that's all I need.
internal,
You could have
not
answered
like-
at any point.
Just not siblings.
I was just having fun.
Why? This is Felice just like angrily points to her head, looks at Liam. This is definitely your fault, isn't it?
We just talking about the type of
I-
philandering you two got up to.
I just want to look and like mentally do like a mental like wacky. You're doing like a picture of Liam looking at you because he's looking at you.
Yeah, you know, if you were trifling or not.
I mean, as much as she'll just like
Roll me an
Kinda concentrate-
embarrassment check.
Like, are you two just toying? Like, come on.
okay. Firstly,
Constitution saving throw for blushing.
Constitution save. Okay, sure. Why not?
That was a joke. But if you're gonna roll for it,
It's been
you
rolled.
failed.
It's been
Ah, that's a 10.
Well, Felice's cheeks are pink. Liam physically can no longer have pink cheeks.
So there
Oh
is
yeah, that's right. My
trifling.
flesh is kind of gray now, isn't it?
Your flesh is stark white, like the stalk of a mushroom, and squishy.
Oh. I'm supple.
I would like to kick Funky in the shin.
All right, roll me an
Viciously.
attack.
Like with what? What do I roll for that?
Dex, no proficiency.
Yeah.
Dex? Yo! That's a 9!
Percy, does that hit your armor class?
No!
Okay. Felice, you try and swing at his shin and catch your toe on one of his ugly ass boots and stub your toe on it.
Why are you here? Why are any of us here?
Oh, hey, actually, good point. Here, catch this. I throw one of the tins.
This one's kind of bent in the corner because Percy shoved it into a pocket and then put like a rock in that pocket with it.
She'll look down at it and say, "Oh, thanks."
By the power invested in me, by the state of blah blah blah.
No, shut it! I don't want to hear it.
Rumbling ding dongs. If you do so choose to accept, you have been deputized. Liam has accepted. If that makes any difference, considering he is your liaison.
Felice is gonna hold up. I'm gonna hold up the badge and point to it, saying, "I am going to sell this. Understand?"
I would like you to roll me an intelligence check real quick.
Alternatively, can like the casual look I have on my face disappear? Can I roll intimidation?
If you want to roll intimidation, Felice, you can get a decent penny for this.
Yeah, I would like that. Actually, funnily enough.
Can I roll intimidation then?
You're selling a visage of the law.
Visage of the law. She's just pissed right now, honestly. By the way, I have advantage against being frightened, so I don't.
Sanctity of the government for a quick dollar.
Okay. You don't have to worry about being frightened. How do you react to a mediocre attempted intimidation?
I scrunch my face up.
She's just like, "You're making a very good impression of a dartboard right now."
So do you accept?
What? Love to toss a dart.
Yeah, do you accept or not?
Shut up with the titles. Why not? Sure.
We're a team.
Cool. So you are now morally bound to help us look through this case.
Now
Not
we're
morally.
a team.
Okay, so we are looking for an Esmeralda Tenpenny. We can't find her. This is a cold case that's 3 years old, and that's practically all we know. Her husband, Jonathan Tenpenny, not very helpful. The person that filed the report, not real. Or at least they're not here in the living section. Maybe in the dead.
Well, would you like to know the investigation roll for that undead section?
Yes! Under Valdez, you only find one label. One Diego Valdez. His occupation is listed as Undertaker. He does not have a listed address for his home address, but he does have a work address listed.
How did you know we were here, by the way? How'd you know about all the other names I called you? What? Cause that was like a solid 5 minutes of names.
Liam's got magic hands.
Intuition. Can I roll for deception?
Woman's intuition.
Woman's intuition.
Disadvantage. Because that is a bullshit reason.
Ooh, very cool.
13. All right. Come on, figure it out.
Percy,
Come on.
You're
Roll
going
higher
to
than
need to
13.
give me an insight check.
Roll higher than 13. Do it.
22.
Oh my god.
It's good roll.
The one thing I'm good at is reading people, and I'm so glad that's working out for me.
She's lying through her teeth.
Yeah, all right. Okay.
Yeah, all right. I'd like to show Perseus the address. It states, "I'd like to go to the museum."
All right.
So Liam would like to go to the museum. Perseus, you now have an address that is a lead to your current job.
You know what?
You're welcome.
We were just checking through here. Oh my god. We were check them.
Lisa's looking very smug now.
Why do you want to go to the museum?
Let's just say my history based.
What does that mean?
It means I want to go to the museum.
Okay, we could look at the fossils. Sure.
Yeah. Can we do this on like an off time or something?
Is it important?
Oh, correct. Actually, before we do all that, do I know this guy's name, correct?
Yes, Deuce did introduce him to you properly with the name.
Balderath still wants to talk to all of us.
None of the rest of you know who Balderath is.
Who?
It's to go to the hide again.
Again.
Also, she'll pass out 100 gold to each one of you. This was the payment from last time for just for doing the job, and I think he wants another one. But this one, it won't involve a mark, at least going off of his word.
Oh, he won't threaten to kill my dad.
Hopefully not. Yes, mostly not.
Do we have to stab ourselves again?
Did not ask. I would figure it would be less important than the prior question, but
I don't know. That stab kind of hurt a little bit.
I mean,
Oh, you're just a pussy.
Yeah.
Where do we want to go first?
What's the address again
yeah, what?
that we just got for Diego?
The Undertaker. I'm not going to give you a full address for it. I don't have one planned. You just go to the graveyard.
1, 2,
Okay.
3, 4 Cobblestone Road.
1, 2, 3, 4 Grave Place. I don't care.
Well,
I just put Graythorn.
it is my day off, and as much as I like helping you out, Neumond, I would love to see a museum.
I would love to too. I love bones.
No, we're going to drop by, finish this business, see what he wants, because I do not want anyone threatened. Understood? Let us just go to Baldroth, figure out what's going on there. Then we can go to a museum or wherever you all want. Okay?
Unless I'm wrong, 3 is greater than 1. Am I wrong?
I'm inclined
And
to
I look at the other two.
This person has threatened our families.
He does have the ability.
I really do hate going there.
I do
Yes.
as well.
The thing is, he won't talk unless we all are there. Believe me, I would have just preferred if he just gave me the message and we just left.
Well,
We will go there
I guess
for as
we'll
long
go.
as we need to. No longer.
as long as I get to see a museum today, I'll be happy.
Rest
Yeah.
assured. Follow me. You will see a museum.
Where are we headed?
To the
Heading to Balrath.
yes.
All right, you head to the Hidden Tan, or Tanned Hide and Hidden Tans.
To the bar with the flat nails.
Never did answer me, so are you guys liaisons? Or and that keeps going up until the entire way over there.
As you walk in, you notice that the sign is set to closed, but there is about 20 people in the bar.
Felice will still like knock on the door, just like, yeah, no, the close sign isn't really fooling anybody here.
Roll me a perception check.
I got a 17.
All
Yay.
right, before she sneaks up on you, you notice that Dusa is coming up from behind you.
I would like to kind of unsheath the dagger and meet her defensively.
I was just going to tell you it's open.
Oh, good to hear. She unsheaths it. Or she
Breathe.
sheaths it again.
Breathe.
So, you going to lead us in?
Feel free to enter as you like. I was just coming home.
Alright.
She pushes past you and opens the door and walks in.
Okay. I guess Felice will just motion for everybody to follow.
As you walk in, there is a loud cheer. Hey! Most of the people in the tavern are all looking at you. A lot of them with like decent smiles on their face, and it looks like a few of them are wearing veils, and a couple of them are like leaning on the table crying. But most of them are trying to celebrate as best they can. Baldrath is leaning at the bar as he normally does. Thank you for coming. I would like to apologize. I will say that, as much as it should not be, our treatment of you is not unusual. We have had run-ins with people trying to find us and our business.
Not hard to say about a bit of a boogeyman from where I am. I can see why they would go looking.
Our name came around at some point and became the thing every mother feared. As this is happening, you hear the steps of a very light foot on the actual staircase behind him, coming down in a fairly good-looking robe and decent jewelry is what looks to be a 12-year-old boy. However, around this 12-year-old boy's neck is a glowing blue snake. It is translucent, and its tail disappears into a thin red string that turns into the belt that the boy is wearing.
Elise will like narrow her eyes down on the red.
Before you get to say anything, Baldareth says, "No, go up." Fuck. The child looks, gets a little frightened, and runs back up the stairs.
Interesting
Sorry about
people
that.
you keep around here.
They're not supposed to come down when there are visitors, but because we were closed, they probably didn't realize you were coming around. This, and he gestures to the entire dining room filled with people, is a wake for our comrades.
Celebration of the life they once lived.
The numbers are getting smaller. Let me introduce to you myself proper. I am Lord Baldareth of the Ceredin House. You have met my adopted daughter, Dusa Ceredin. We are what is left of the dynasty.
Quick history on this, please.
The dynasty is a long lineage of noble houses who run your country.
Right.
As no one knows who's in the dynasty. No one they keep it secret. But you know that the dynasty, at least according to everything you know, is a massive think the Queen of England, think the entirety of a royal family, every duke, every all the way down the chain. There should be thousands of people in this family.
What would be done as sign of respect? Just like a bow?
If you want to give proper respect to the dynasty, and specifically a lord of the dynasty, you would get on your fucking knee. This is like someone revealing to you in casual conversation, yeah, I'm the president of the United States.
Yeah, she'll immediately do that.
Don't, please.
She'll kind of hesitantly, very, very hesitantly get up and look at him in curiosity.
There are only 2 members of my house left. The third died in that accident, or in that Myconid incident. Out of all of us, we have 3 houses left, and then 4 people we can trace to miscellaneous lineages, though we're not sure.
I still deeply respect that house. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
The Shifting Sands was the name of the Royal Guard. You want to know why we were a boogeyman? We hunted down criminals.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
You see all of the energy drain from this man. This entire front he has had in front of you of this badass persona who's a leader of some deep or dark organization crumbles as the worry of a father who lost his son starts to weigh on him. Thank you for finding my boy's body.
I'm sorry to ask this so soon, but was he similar to the boy on the stairs?
I guess there's no point in not revealing it. That boy on the stairs is the Dynast King.
Oh.
The last of the Dynast King's lineage. As far as we can tell, no other spirit callers have existed for nearly 100 years.
Can I call forth my cat? Just curiosity.
He sits up straight and then bows immediately.
What? Wait.
Your Majesty, I was not aware. You were the...
What?
Do you not know? Oh, do you not know?
No?
Oh, spirit calling is the great lineage of the dynasty. It was the only thing that could easily demark us once the shattering happened.
What kind of history was I given on this?
None. None of this. This is the type of thing that would be like secret whispers in the court. Outside of the court, nothing.
I have I've never been taught any of this.
Was your mother also a spirit caller?
I don't know.
All we know is that it is matrilineal.
She birthed me and then just disappeared. I don't know where she is.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's very old. I'm just very curious why you would call me such a thing. Just,
Because only royals can have spirit calling.
I just don't.
You may not know it, but you are of a royal line.
Felice is just very, very confused now. She's been confused, but now she is just like, I don't know how to process any of this. So is there any chance that I could I mean, I don't know what that quite implicates at all.
Other than the respect that can be garnered in this room, nothing.
All right.
We have
No.
no power over the barrows. The Lich Lord, and he does throw up air quotes, that is supposed to be in charge of us, is Lord Darius.
Mm.
And as much as Lord Darius is intelligent, he is still young. Darius! You see the child's head poke out. Darius, please, come. I did not realize you were as such. Darius, we have found another like you.
Yeah, Felice will just kind of show her the little cat and stuff like that.
In absolute silence, this small child runs up and hugs you tightly, shaking.
Oh, hey. She'll return the hug if a bit hesitant at first.
Thought I was alone.
Oh, there's such a big world out there. Very rarely are you ever alone.
The snake that is obviously this child's familiar curls up your arm and rests its head against your cheek.
You've got quite the little friend, don't you?
I met him after Mom and Bud died.
Ah, yes. That's very similar to my story as well. They're always with you, and again, very rarely are you ever alone. We just have more of a concrete fact of that.
That is true. And then just silence.
Yeah, police will return the hug for however long this child needs.
This child will not let go of you until you leave.
Oh.
You are the first person in 12 years who knows what this child has dealt with in any semblance of this word, and knows what it's like to have these spirits around you at all times.
Police will just kind of look over at Baldrath, see how he's reacting to this.
There's a tear running down Baldrath's eyes as he doesn't normally speak to people.
I'm glad I can be one of them. She'll just kind of part slightly and just kind of give him look him in the eyes and essentially say, hey, would you like to talk upstairs at all? You know, I'm willing to stay for however long you need.
Peter, it's the wake now. The rest of us should celebrate. However, the child looks over at the outsiders. We would prefer to follow our customs in private.
Yes, that's completely fair. All right. Would you mind if I came around tomorrow?
Please.
All right. She'll part from the hug and basically give Waldorf the look of, would you like anything else?
He passes you a small little tin. As much as this offering is generally for family members, he places the tin on the counter and pushes it towards you. I would like you to have my son's offering instead of me. You did more for him than I could have when he died. This is a ceremonial offering given to the person who would have been of importance to them after they died. It is generally filled with either a cookie or a bread or some other small food snack. And it is meant to be eaten at the wake.
Okay. She will accept it and open up the tin, I guess.
There's a small little flower-shaped cookie in there.
She'll give it like a smile. Oh, your son, quite the creative, isn't he?
He was. He taught me how to make it. I don't think I did it justice, though.
Oh, you do justice in your efforts. She'll start to nibble on it, I guess. Delicious.
You get 1 extra bardic inspiration for the rest of the day.
Yeah, baby! That's what I'm talking about. So she'll finish it, and then would she hold on to the tin, or
the tin is not ceremonial in and of itself.
Okay, just
the important part is the cookie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when your mother died, you got a small bit of what would be a very hard type of bread.
Mm-hmm.
Though what you do with your mother's tin, that is on you. However, this tin is for a man you never met.
Yeah, she'll give it back, saying, "This probably means more to you than it will ever to me."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And with that, she'll probably order a drink if they're allowing.
He will pass you a drink immediately. He pretty much has a bottle sitting on the counter. This is a wake.
Mm-hmm.
This is, we are getting drunk and celebrating the men we lost. Mm-hmm. This is a wake for the Royal Guard. Oh, before you go. Mm-hmm. He taps on the back wall where there would be barrels, and then like slides down what is a fake facade, just to prove our efficacy. I'm assuming you will know what this is. And as he slides it down, you see a Jekyll Knight set of armor.
Oh my! That.
This was my father's. We generally use this as proof of our lineage. And then he slides it back into place.
That is definitely proof enough. I have not seen one of those, and
you have never seen one of those.
Yeah, probably in like picture, maybe? No?
No.
Described?
Described at best.
Described at best.
Whispers in stories of the old dynasty at best.
I never thought I'd ever see one.
That being said, it is really hard to not acknowledge the efficacy of a black glass set of armor that is fairly heavily enchanted.
Yeah, just the black glass alone would be. Whew.
Yeah.
Whew. Mamma mia! That takes a lot more money than I ever will have.
Takes a lot more money than exists in this city.
Yeehaw! Well, she's just going to, with her drink in hand, just kind of motion everybody out so that they, can get the wake on,
Cups are raised as you leave. You see one of what is now obviously a widow with a veil over her face looks up and gives you a half-hearted cheers and then lays her head back down.
Yeah. Felice will give one big cheer, take one big swig, and then just kind of go out.
The entire room that is not Baldrath and Dusa erupts in cheers with you.
Yeah! Awesome. Yeah. Just, she'll constantly be swinging the drink on the way out, and she'll just like, all of the people nearest her just being like, they ain't so bad after all, huh? Funny how appearances can be deceiving.
You leave the tan hide hidden tens. Does anyone else want to say anything else?
I wanted to talk to Dusa.
Oh, she's probably...
She is
just a glass of milk.
She is definitely around. She's leaning in the bar looking at this whole exchange.
Yeah, Felice would have left. You guys can do whatever.
Hey, how's your hand? Any better?
All patched up thanks to your place of employment.
No, we do have great healers there. Or, you know, what's, is this is a wake. Right?
My brother died. Don't know what you want me to explain to you. My brother died.
Well, I find that sometimes it's good to talk about things you enjoyed about them at times like this. Oh, you're not looking. What's she looking like? How's she holding up? What's her body language? Telling me.
She's leaning against the bar, her arms crossed, her legs crossed. She's looking at you, almost not at all interested.
Something, you know, it's good to talk about things you liked about them.
Do you remember that storefront that you were at?
Yeah, a slime. Yeah, besides the point, yeah, what about it?
Before we had to clean it out, it was his bakery.
Was he good at it? Did he make really good stuff, or was he just like, you know, trying to do it?
As far as I can tell, he was the best baker in the entire world. When I was a small child, every day. When I was a small child, he used to make me cinnamon rolls when I was upset at that.
Why not just have a cinnamon roll in his memory jar then? You know, he might be physically gone, but you still have your memories, right?
Yes, I do. And I will. I thank you for the concern. Before you go, I was never going to harm anyone of your family.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Because
it's a scare tactic.
It worked pretty well.
That's the point of it. The only people we are willing to hurt are the people who directly come into contact with us and threaten us.
Okay. Oh, I think I've made it clear that I am neither threatening you. Probably also, I don't know what the contact thing, I don't want to really quantify that.
We are currently in contact. We are speaking, are we not?
I put my hands up. Hey man, don't hurt me.
You are considered a friend.
Really?
You figured out how my brother died. You can see at this point her facade is cracking slightly.
Okay.
I was looking for him for weeks before I found you guys looking for him.
I'm glad we could do that then. You know, it could have been done in a less, oh my god, you're gonna kill my dad sort of way. But I'm glad we could help. You know, it's what we do, or at least it's what I do and try to do.
To be fair, we did not originally find you to do this. You found us, and then your friend had a mock of one of our assassin targets.
Really?
That black coin is a threat, yes.
Okay. Interesting. Well,
so from our perspective, an assassination target came into our place of business and our home, pointed out who we were, and brought a full party with them. We figured you would be, at best, enemy combatants.
Yeah. But to be fair, at that point in time, we did not know them. There was this rock in the milk. It was a very strange day. But I'm glad you consider us friends. If you do ever need any help in the less threatening way,
Have your mother's contact info. If we need anything, we will put a word through her.
Alright. Actually, if you could do that directly through me so my mother doesn't find out about this, because let's say this was, for the most part...
We also know your mother doesn't know. If we put it in, we will put it in as an official notice from our company.
Alright.
So if you see the tanned hide, then assume it's probably us.
Alright, well, I don't know what to say here, dude. I don't want to say have a great wake, but at the same time, I feel like if I don't say that...
Just shut up and leave.
Alright, I'll catch you around, Dusa. Now wave goodbye.
I will have you say, catch you around as well. Alright, does anyone else want to say anything at the wake before we leave?
I would like to leave as soon as possible.
I would be observing, and then I would leave when Perseus leaves.
I will also say, Liam, the Sovereign is very, very sorrowful right now. Understand, this is a wake for one of his victims.
Before I leave, I'll say, for what it's worth, the perpetrator of this was sorry.
I'm going to tell
the gold
you,
on the table for the milk.
no one heard you, and the gold does not get picked up.
It's the thought that counts.
It is. All right, everyone. Where are we going next?
We have a museum and 1, 2, 3 bones.
We've got to see some bones.
Let's go to the museum, bro.
Show me the bones.
Can I roll a Constitution saving throw to see if I'm actually going to be slightly tipsy?
Con saving throw if you'd like.
13.
You are definitely tipsy.
Am I good enough to function, though? I'm just wondering.
Yes, you do not have the poison status, however, you may roleplay as tipsy as you would like to be.
Okay, cool.
You get to the museum. It is currently closed, as the main stained glass window in the front of it has shattered inwards. By the way, you transition from Central City to the rune-marked territories.
Oh, so we're in Rune-marked now?
Yep, this is a rune-marked museum.
Am I correct?
You-
I mean, this is as far away from my home as possible.
Not as possible. You get to the other side of the rune-marked territory, but yeah, pretty much.
You can go from the other side of the planet.
Well, like,
Yeah.
like never mind.
By the way, I still have the thing of like almost manure on my person.
Yeah, you do.
I think I left it. I left it outside of the bar, so I didn't pick it up. But yeah,
Fermented in the sun.
she'll give it to you, just still disgusted with it, but kind of too tipsy to truly care.
I will carefully open this.
It is a bag of rotted shit.
Hey.
How does the Sovereign feel about this?
It feels as disgusted as you do.
Why do you two just carry excrement around?
It's not my
Listen.
fault. It's his.
Okay, just because I
You've done it
extract your
twice this
vomit-
week.
I extract your vomit one time.
Now, actually, you've done 3 different types of excrement this week.
Listen,
He has a point.
when you drink
this- is this just
beer, you have to know what's inside it.
I don't know anybody who has ever said that aside from you, so no.
How many people have you seen drink a 10-cent beer?
Well, there's a reason why I'm being so talkative right now.
You all do see, and they are familiar to Liam and Felice, 2 small elven children standing outside, ordering around the construction workers as if they are the owners of the place.
Hi, aren't you 2 weapons people? Weapon twins, something like that, right? Right?
Twins. Oh my
Looks over at like Liam.
Anyone who is rune marked will know these 2 as Felice and Felice, the heads of F&F Industries, the second largest corporation in the entirety of the Runemark's territories. This is like walking up on Elon Musk.
Walking up on Elon Musk, but 2 people.
Yeah.
Yes, 2 people, and they're small and elf.
So there's Elon and there's Musk.
Wait, you 2 know those 2?
No, just
We
Um,
talked business.
oh, but honestly,
5 minutes.
You talked.
it's not odd. It's not odd for people to talk business with them. They do sell their wares directly, so they do also go to Market Street and sell their wares. That being said, they make really high-end magic items. They make really low-end magic items. They make most of the metalwork in the city. They make a good portion of the woodworking in the city. Any stone masonry that is mass-produced is probably mass-produced in one of their factories. They're literally the second richest pair of people in the entire city.
and yet they still can't buy out that armor. Nope, no sir.
Well, closed. It's restricted.
That's one of your things or something.
Can we help you unclose it?
Not unless you have an in with the Under Circus, or know how to root out terrorists.
Weren't those on
It'd
the
be
news?
harder than hunting wild game.
Thought they were on the news, weren't they? Yeah, they were. She like looks around for a paper. Can Felice like look around for a paper real quick?
You do not remember.
What?
Anyone else who has not rolled a 3 on their investigation check?
Fuck you!
For either of the Runemarked, you would have gotten this as your regular newspaper.
Yeah.
I was gonna
that's
say,
nice.
shouldn't we
That's-
know about this
Yeah,
naturally?
I was like, I guess I'll roll,
There's
but
a
I feel like I
reason-
knew about this.
Jork does not live in this area. There's a reason why the running numbers is specifically the Runemarked, and there's also
I'm
a reason why I
Going
posted
to
it.
scream.
What did you want? By the way, these twins are speaking in unison and flipping back and forth in the middle of the sentence. I can't easily mimic that. I'm not that cool.
You don't have a echo?
No.
You don't have a twin.
I was about to say. I'm glad someone else.
No meiosis. Cringe.
I came here looking for clues on something, but it seems you have a much more pressing matter, so how can I, Hunter, pretty much anything at this rate, help you?
Well, again, unless you have an in to the Under Circus, or you can hunt out terrorists. They do a little gesture with their hands. One of them holds the right hand up, and then the other one who's on their left holds the left hand up, as if they're both holding their hands up in dismay. We were broken into. We know nothing about it, but we assume it was probably the Under Circus, as those vagabonds have been harassing us for years. Several of our artifacts are missing, and we have to close in order to fix a very expensive window. Do you know how much fucking glass costs? Felice, the male one, gestures at a giant pane of glass that is being craned up by a magic item, and in order to be put in place, it looks like they literally had this stained glass reworked over the last 2 days.
Oh, she looks like she looks like she has at least heard of the struggles that would take, and just
Yes.
kind of winces really badly.
You also probably know that would be a lot of money right there in that crane.
You have an inventory of what was stolen?
Of course, we have an inventory of what was stolen. Why would I give it to you?
You could contract me to recover it.
Felice will like pull out the little badge that we got and
Yeah,
be
I was
like,
about to say.
yeah.
Phyllis, the female one, slaps her forehead. Oh, good, you're the fucking cops. Look, we've already filed a complaint with your department. Your department hasn't done shit on the Under Circus in the last 3 years. Why do I expect you to do anything now?
Well, we just kind of got deputized like today, so I think we got a bit more.
This is
Last 3
where
years.
I think I would come in. We would come in.
This is the first time you have heard anything of the Under Circus specifically being brought up to your department.
Perseus, by the way. Hi, big fan. So, I have not heard anything about this at the office. in this letter.
Congratulations. I don't care.
So you don't want your stuff back, is what you're saying to me right now. Because we're offering to help you right here, right now, because we're here, right now, and you don't want help right here, right now.
Roll me a intimidation check.
Let's see how bad I fail.
Good, please.
Now you got this.
22.
Please.
You got this. I told you.
Nice.
So right here, right now, you don't want any help? After 3
Fine.
years, you're complaining?
Fine. If you can find the Under Circus or get back and Felice pulls out of his waistcoat a list of materials, including which is the mask of the Tyrants Follow. Among other ancient-ass artifacts, most of which magical. There is something known as Heart of Corrupted Darkness, and it is labeled as non-magical. There is the Stick, in quotes, and it is labeled Magical Dangerous Artifact Level. This is like an entire page, and it is like 8-point font, and the entire page is filled with things that were stolen. It's as much information on a single piece of paper as physically possible, because they don't want to waste paper.
So what's the big thing that ties all these items together? Besides the fact that they're here, that they were stolen from here.
Most of these are fucking worthless outside of a museum. They stole the heart. The heart is a rock, for fuck's sake. The only reason it's of any sort of import was that it was pulled out of a fountain of the tyrant because someone liked it when they were running away. The only reason we have it labeled as such is to try and draw in a crowd. Most of these are stones or sticks. A good portion of these are barely even magical. You think we have anything of any value in that? They point at what is obviously a not very secure building made out of a bunch of glass and metal.
But do you actually want any of these back? Or is it just, can you find other sticks and rocks?
We will find actual historical evidence. Like, as much as I hate them and they're stupid, these are actually of historical importance. And looking over now, you can see that the original pane of glass wasn't stained glass. It was painted over with this raunchy image of a circus. There is literal images of demons having sex and, like, slaughtering of people and all sorts of what would be very taboo things in this very closed off community.
We'll look into this as much as we can. When did this happen? How long ago? How recent?
3 days ago.
Alright, we'll see what we can do. I could probably... Why does he just say the stick?
Why are you questioning the stick?
It's the stick. It's an epic level magic item. It's artifact level. Do you not know about the stick?
Like, what would I be worried about the stick when the Heart of Darkness is right there, and apparently that's just a rock?
Oh, trust me. You don't want to see what the stick does.
Alright, we'll take this list and we'll see what we can find. If we find you, where can I find you? I know you're usually, like, in the square. Is that okay?
We have a business address for a fucking reason. Assuming you're competent enough to find our business address somewhere in that thick skull of yours.
And people really do like commenting on the thickness of our skulls.
Yeah. Really makes them wonder if they, try and measure their own. Quick comparison or something.
You are deep into that glass.
Don't ask. It's
So
just
the
like
museum was a bust.
I can feel the tipsiness from here.
I'd like to imagine that they literally.
As much as I love the entertainment, Felice starts to speak up as her brother storms off. As much as we like the entertainment, get the fuck off our property.
Gladly.
By the way, all of the angry and like rude words were all coming from Felice.
Can I pull Perseus aside, like over,
Yes.
like in a little huddle? Okay.
Like, I'm not gonna stop you. Like, okay.
No, I meant like if we were getting kicked off the property, I still was gonna pull you aside. That's what I was. On the paper, it said that she went missing 3 years ago, and they just said that they haven't acted on anything since like 3 years ago. I know that's like a far stretch, and the report was done 3 days ago, and this happened 3 days ago.
Those are a lot of threes.
Well, yeah, more than the threes, but like it may be again a far stretch, but
The report was not done 3 days ago. The report was done early. The report was done a couple of days before you grabbed it, of a vague amount of time. It's not that specific.
Okay. But the other part is still 3 years ago, correct?
Yes, no. If you would like to draw a correlation between those two different things that happened 3 years ago, if you want to, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I still want to do that. That's
All right.
I'd like to
that's on you.
imagine that while you guys are talking, Felice is just like bringing up random glass facts from like nowhere to Liam.
Felice, please roll me a homesickness check.
Ah, goddamn.
But I know that's a far reach, but still, it's something that I just thought about when it was said.
I mean, I trust you. I trust your, intuition. So if this is something you think could be connected, I trust you.
It's not connected, it's just more of, I want to keep that in mind just in case. Because, I mean, a person goes missing 3 years ago, and apparently this heinous group of people acted 3 years ago. I don't know, just something about it. It's making, it's grabbing my attention, but I just wanted to mention that.
Alright, well, let's try to keep it in mind as we go to the... What was it called? The Gravekeeper?
Undertaker at the graveyard.
Whatever.
Are we going to the cemetery?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as you enter the cemetery, you find what was at one point probably a skinny man, but is now a skeleton with 3 cracked ribs that obviously will not repair. You know that injuries sustained before death do not repair after death. So his ribs are cracked in slightly from previous injury, and he's leaning on his shovel.
Diego Valdez?
Are you finally going to come ask about Esmeralda?
Yes.
Yeah.
We,
What?
I put the report in half a week ago and have been waiting for someone to come since.
got here. Well, we're here now. Sorry about the wait. We actually went to go check out her husband, Jonathan Timpany.
Let me guess. Absolutely useless bastard.
Yeah, down to the T.
He murdered both of us.
Oh.
This? He taps his chest. Knife to the heart. Slit his wife's throat. As for the murder charge, he's a magistrate. We can't do anything about that. That being said, Esmeralda's body has gone missing.
Is she...
More
Is she-
accurately, her grave was not disturbed, but her bell has fallen. You know that in the Runemark territories, bells will be attached to a body in order to try and see if it wakes up. This is actually an old practice that happened in America. However, a bell falling means that your body has turned into either goop or ectoplasm. If you turn into a ghost, you turn into ectoplasm. If you rot away fast enough, you turn into goop. It can just mean that they decayed really fast, which in this world of magic is not impossible. I took this job a year ago to hopefully see her come back. She's buried over there. He points 5 graves over. It's an unmarked grave with no gravestone that is not even looking like it's intentionally sanctioned by the nice, neat rows, and is instead buried, like, very close to the wall, but you can tell that there is a mound of dirt there.
Can you, what was she like? Or what is she like?
She was the best. She was passionate, intelligent, wonderful. Until she married that bastard.
How'd that end up happening?
Do you know what happens to an unmarked girl out on the street when a noble sees her? Especially if she's pretty.
How did that have to happen? Sorry that had to be like that.
No one gives a shit about the unmarked. Hell, I'm surprised you're even talking to me. It's at this point that you realize there is not a single rune on his body.
Personally, I've never been a big fan of that.
Make you the first actually marked that I have met who has that sentiment. Most of you profit off of us.
Yeah. It's not unmarked. Get souped up by this dickhead.
Rich bastard, I believe is the term.
Same
Rich dickhead bastard.
I like that.
What did she at least gain any benefits from that?
She had a home, food on her plate. Better than I had.
Did she come visit you when she had the chance, or was she allowed to do that? I'm not too sure how exactly that would work out for you.
Why do you think we were murdered? We were murdered at the same time in the same place. And just to give you a further hint, we were not buried with any clothes. All right, you're gonna be of no help. He picks his shovel up and starts walking towards the building in the back of the cemetery.
Are the bells okay? I don't know about bells. So are the where are the bells located?
So they sit right next to the actual gravestone on a stick, and then there's a string that goes all the way down into the ground.
Okay.
That gets attached to someone's finger while they're buried.
Okay.
If their finger starts moving in any way, the bell starts ringing.
Okay. And the bell's just on the ground.
There's like a little post to hold them.
No, I meant hers. It's just on the ground.
Her bell has been picked up. If a bell
Probably by
falls,
him.
it gets picked up.
Got it. I want to go over to where she was buried at and just like go over there and look at it.
As we walk over there,
No one going to stop him walking away from you?
it's really a matter of is Neumond or Perseus going to do that?
I was gonna go check the grave or the burial area. That's what I was going to do.
Thine of the silver tongue, would you like to go after the man?
Oh yeah.
Is that supposed to be me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
No way.
I'm making fun of you.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I was gonna follow after him anyways.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have anything better to do. If you're gonna follow me, you might as well ask questions.
Okay. Do you have any living family right now?
Well, yeah, my mother and sisters.
Do you know when the last time they talked to your sister was? Was it before Death? Have they come visit?
Last time I talked to my sister was yesterday. I visit my family regularly.
Right, but when's the last time your Esmeralda talked to the rest of her family? That's what I'm asking.
Esmeralda didn't have any family.
So then, how were you and her connected?
My dude.
Oh, was it worth it?
He was the love of my life. Of course it was worth it. I would do it again in a heartbeat. My only hope is that she's either resting well or I get to see her again.
Well, hopefully the latter.
Hopefully the former.
Well, we'll do what we can, but we really don't. We don't have much to go on here. We're right. We can look at what's going on in her grave, but if you
He tosses
Can't
his shovel at you.
can I roll to catch it?
Well, Bex, check.
It's right, the shovel.
What type of check?
Dex.
That's an 8.
It bonks you in the forehead.
Okay, a little warning
eights,
next
bro.
time.
He turns to look at you. I would give you more if I had more to go on. If I had more to go on, I'd find her myself. My best lead was this place. I figured she would come back since she had reasons to be angry. I did. She has not, as far as I'm aware, crawled her way out of the ground, so... In all likelihood, she probably rotted. If their finger falls off, then the bell falls. Otherwise, if they get turned into a ghost, the bell falls.
I'll pick up the shovel and I'll head back to where the rest of the party is.
What would a ghost normally do? Because I'm assuming I'm familiar with this process, at least by a little bit.
Depending on how strong of a ghost they are, they either become a specter, a shade, an actual ghost, a geist, or a banshee. Banshees are very specifically women, very specifically murdered. Geists are very specifically high-energy ghosts who function as actual people. Ghosts themselves generally are half corporeal, and they walk among the living, but like their memories are a little fuzzy. Shades are a collection of a bunch of smaller spirits that haunt an area. Specters are like almost like images of a person that get replayed as that person would have walked. There's whites, which are zombies inhabited by a ghost. Let's see what else there are. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but pretty much every different variant of a ghost that has ever been conceived by humans exists. And most of them, once they've dealt with their business, just become regular people. The spirits you call are not the spirits of ghosts or anything like that. They're spirits of people who are dead. Neumond, you find what was at one point a loose patch of grass that has slowly grown over. However, it is obvious that there is a mound where a body would be, but the grass has grown over it, so unless you had it pointed out, you would never have noticed it.
Considering, like, we're investigating, I feel like it would still be quite rude to open up a burial area, correct? I just wanna...
I mean, considering the grave, or the Undertaker literally tossed Percy's shovel.
Would we know that? Like, did we see that?
You can look behind you and see Percy walking towards you with a shovel.
It's because you said they went to, like, the room
I'd rather
behind the
her
cemetery,
look
so
and
I was
see
like,
me not catch the shovel. If we're gonna play it like that.
They're in the distance, but like it's an open field.
Okay, so we can still see them. Okay.
The only thing between you and them is grave markers.
Okay.
And grave markers are like less than waist height.
And you said that if they are decayed fast, they'll turn to sludge or whatever. But if they're
if they rot, if they rot to the point where their finger falls off, the string will fall off their finger and fly up.
But if it's D, then
if it's empty, that could mean it was a ghost. It could also mean that someone stole the body at some point. It could mean.
So.
But
okay, probably should just open it up, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I assume we'd wait for Mr. Shovelman to get over here.
All right, so Mr. Shovelman gets there. Perseus, Neumond.
Find anything?
Just the
I need confirmation that you are.
Yeah,
Oh.
we are.
Dig the body. As you open the casket, you dig and it's. I say casket. It's a crate. It is the simplest nailed together wood one can find. And it looks like that was put in afterwards. And you hit it, and it caves in almost immediately. Whoever is digging, your weight crushes what little wood there is.
Neumond is doing it.
I thought that it would. Okay, sure. I'd be. I
No,
guess I'd
it's
be
your
digging.
job. You're the one who wanted to deal with all this.
It's not directly underneath you, Mike.
Yeah.
You are digging in an area. It's just as you dig in that area, you tap the wood, and the wood caves in. What little dirt is left falls in on it. I would like you to roll me an investigation check. It doesn't take much digging around to notice that as you're pulling out dirt, little specks of blue dust come up with it. This blue dust is ectoplasm.
I was gonna say, do I know about ghosts because I handle a lot of dead things? I wouldn't know as much as, like, Felice, obviously, but would I know anything about it since I handle it?
You, being an actual school of necromancy wizard, would know a decent bit about ghosts.
So
You know more than me.
I don't know if I'd know more than you. I'd know a fair bit, though. Okay, so I would know this.
You know for a fact this is ectoplasm.
Okay.
Yes.
Find anything down there?
She's
Can I
not
grab out
here.
the cat?
There is
Cat is out.
ectoplasm here. Ghost residue, basically. She's not decayed in here, so that's something.
So we have to find a ghost. Do you know any way to track a ghost?
Again, can I bring out the cat and see its reaction to all this?
It doesn't have any particularly interesting reaction, but it is like sitting there looking at the grave. Tail flicking a little bit.
Can I look inside of the other, like the dirt and debris to see what else is there? If there's anything else there, like that was attached to her before she became a ghost?
There is nothing.
Okay.
There is a wooden crate that is caved in and ectoplasm, which there would be clothes, there would be jewelry, there would be whatever she was buried with if she was buried with something. There is nothing there. That was part of your investigation check.
Okay.
Yes, a little bit of background world building for everyone so that I don't have to explain this later. When your soul is removed from your body either crystallizes into a gem or turns into dust. The gem is then the phylactery that gets built around to make a lich. The dust is left behind if you become a ghost.
So this is the thing that you were looking in the library for, correct?
Well, we're supposed to be looking for her, actually. But she's not here, so...
Oh.
Yeah, there was nothing of her. She went missing 3 years ago. And as of today, we found out she is not buried. She is actually, like, gone.
Actually, what was your investigation check? I just need to double check that.
It was 12.
12. Okay, yeah, no.
When did you get this report? When do you have an idea of how long that she's been a ghost?
I have no idea.
Oh.
I just found out she's a ghost right now.
No, as in...
The missing persons report was put in 3 years ago.
Yeah.
She could have been turned into a ghost any time between 3 years ago to now.
Yeah.
Okay. We should probably ask the Undertaker when exactly the bell fell off. Has that been... Was it 3 years ago for that?
I will tell you, the process of turning into a crystal can take much longer than the process of your soul being removed.
I also
So-
feel like the Undertaker wouldn't have been there like 24/7.
Yes, he would.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
he
then
would've.
He
Since
would
it was
have
a-
known then.
He is
Supposed to be
undead,
out.
does not need to sleep. He is specifically has this job in order to watch this one specific grave.
So he didn't say when the bell dropped?
Best you can guess is that he probably put the report in the second the bell dropped.
Which was 3 years ago, question mark?
No, a few days ago he reestablished the report to open the cold case again.
Yeah.
Okay,
You-
so how quick can a ghost move? Just baseline ghost.
30 to 60 feet?
30 to 60 feet. And the one type of ghost that we have the most information on in terms of location is the one that... was it Shade? No, not Shade.
Spectre.
Spectre, right. So, if we go off of that thought, then we'll know that that's not a Spectre if we discover that location. And find that she's not there.
You would assume that the location would probably be wherever she lived.
Alright.
So she probably lived with her husband.
I suppose when you went to...
Perseus, make me a constitution saving throw.
I suppose this is while I'm talking.
Yes.
9. No.
You fall asleep.
And,
One
What?
second, I actually have to grab a set of dice so that I can roll a stealth check. Everyone else may make me a perception check as something
that got
happens to Perseus.
Oh, that's an 11.
He got haunted. He's getting haunted, baby.
Am I getting possessed? Awesome.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh! Why do these things?
Just wait, I'm gonna turn into Danny Phantom. It's over.
18.
Oh my god!
All right, none of you see anything.
What?
Oh, well, can't see
Really?
anything? Question mark.
Oh my god!
No, as in all of you turn around and look around, and it's been a few minutes since it happened, but you all realize Percy isn't here.
Oh no, not this
Percy,
again.
He doesn't do this.
That's me.
you wake up about 10 minutes later, being dragged in a sack.
Oh my god.
This went from
Okay.
mystery to drama.
Are they
within
saying
5
anything?
seconds.
No, but they are definitely carrying you in a sack.
What?
There are two people, one in front, one in the back, and the sack itself is padded on the sides to make it look like squarish.
Okay. Alright.
Alright. So now is the time where I cast mage armor upon myself, and and my fucking blade comes up.
The blade comes out.
Yeah.
Right. You cast mage armor, and this blue fire rolls over you, creating these thick, like steel-looking plates. And the blade comes out and immediately pierces through the bag.
What do I immediately see?
You
What
immediately
motherfucker
see
dragged me?
you immediately see two people in very, very plain, raggedy clothes and a lot of stone, dirt, something like that. You're not quite sure, but it is definitely underground. So if anyone would like to try and figure out where he went, investigation or survival.
Actually, I'll give a bardic inspiration to Neumond.
I'm gonna do investigation.
Yeah, so you can add a gains an inspirational 1d6, so roll a 1d6, bro.
So I got an 18.
You
One
find
drink and
nothing.
Oh my gosh.
can I
Okay.
use detect magic?
You cast detect magic. You find nothing. I will say, Percy, you have been gone for, we'll say, 10 minutes.
Oh, that's an. Oh, man.
So long.
Oh, man.
Okay.
I don't know how much good this would do, but. Fuck it. Let's go for it. Sure, I'll use detect thoughts.
Right, for the duration, you can now detect thoughts. You can tell there is currently 3 other people besides you around you. 4 other people, sorry. 2 of which occupy the same space.
Huh?
Liam.
Wait. Yeah, okay.
No, as in Liam is the person who has 2 brains. Perseus.
That's me.
You just ripped out of a bag and have 2, what can be best described as a vagabond staring at you. Both of them have a dead-looking eyes. One is a woman who is, like, emaciated. Her entire body is gaunt. The other one is a man who's slightly better fed, but only slightly.
You've got about 5 seconds to explain why I'm in this bag before
You're out of
both
the
of you
bag.
become even more undead.
They're not undead.
And
They
you-
are...
Then you look. I know, but they might as well. They don't look too good.
No, they don't.
Before you turn undead.
I don't know. We were told to grab you. I don't care.
Who told you?
They try and speak, and their throats close on them. You can hear them choking, literally choking on the words.
Okay. Can you point me in the direction at least? Are they still choking?
They try and lift their arm, and it snaps to their side. It's no use. We can't
Good
break
luck.
it.
Take me, go. I'll follow you.
They just start walking again.
I follow them.
How long do you follow them before you do anything?
Before I do anything? As in... as in what? I can't do shit.
As in,
I'll follow-
literally, how long do you decide to follow them?
Until we get to where we need to go.
Alright, you follow them for 3 hours straight. Felice, Neumond,
Okay.
3 hours has not passed yet.
Yeah.
So you guys are... You don't know exactly how long he's been gone, but he's only been gone a couple of seconds.
So, let's go ask the Overtaker, whatever. And I'm assuming that the alcohol has left, because at this point, like,
The adrenaline in your system
Yeah,
probably
this was-
fucking up the buzz.
yeah, which is not appreciated, not at all. So, I'll go talk to that guy and see if he has any connection to this.
What do you want?
Yeah, so our friend is no longer here, and we do not believe that he left willingly.
Assuming that probably has something to do with the thing nailed to my door.
What is
Oh,
nailed to your
great.
door?
Alright, what is it?
It's a card. It's in
Huh.
red and it's a red card with black print, very finely drawn out. Stop looking for us. It is with the black and red. There is a like umbrella-like pattern going around the underside, and as you flip it over, it is absolutely covered in filigree depicting like everything from clowns to animals to like fire breathers to strong men to, and then we get down to towards the bottom and you get things like in the bottom left corner there's an orgy, in the bottom middle there's what depicts like a sacrifice. Only the person being sacrificed has like a really long grin drawn over their mouth, like as if the character itself is enjoying being sacrificed. And as you notice that, you start to look up, and everyone is like, every humanoid is having those grins. Even things like monkeys or elephants. Everything in this has a grin from cheek to cheek printed on.
Okay, Under Circus. Good to know. Good to know. Honestly. I mean, at least they keep to their theme. So, do you have any...
You cast Detect Magic, right?
Yes. And Detect Thoughts. So I am double detecting right now.
Okay, the card is magic.
Oh.
Specifically, illusion.
Oh. Wait, can I try to poke a finger through it?
You poke it, it's a physical card.
Oh, it's just the smiles. Oh, alright.
If you want to assume that, sure.
Well, no. no. Hold on.
You don't know what the actual magic is coming from. All you know is that this card is in some way enchanted with illusion.
Okay, well... don't know whether to take it or whether to keep it here. Can I read the surface thoughts of the bad boy? Not the bad boy, the Undertaker? Yeah.
Bad boy.
I can't think of this guy's title in a sentence, my guy.
Oh, I hope they find her.
Okay.
That's
basic.
pretty much it. He is no thoughts head empty besides depressing and sad.
Okay, cool. Can
This
I
man-
try and look at the card in different ways?
The filigree shimmers, but nothing interesting changes. As you keep turning it around, it's a card. It's a very well-designed card. You wouldn't expect terrorists to have, like, filigree and ink and, like, a nice card stock.
I kind of just want to try this. Can I prick my finger and put blood on the card? I'm just kind of curious.
You poke your finger and put blood on the card.
Nothing happens?
Nothing happens.
I was figuring since there's a ritual on there. I was hoping something interesting would happen. Whatever. Anyway. I guess we need to find out the location of the Under Circus now more than ever. I suppose we should head back to town.
1 hour passes.
Oh my gosh. Did we head back to town, or are we still there, or are you just saying 1 hour?
1 hour
passed, and we're
passes.
Still there.
You didn't say
Heading
anything.
to town.
Yeah, let's just head to town.
Okay, that's what I was
1
asking
hour-
ahead of time. Okay.
Yes. I'm assuming you're heading to town, and if you do so, 1 hour passes.
Yeah. How far is town from where we are?
The town itself, 30 minutes.
Okay.
Perseus.
That's me.
After the second hour, you walk into what is a massive cavern. The ceiling above you is almost a mile above you. As you look down, there is stairs that go down for another half a mile before opening up into a chasmous pit. And all around the edges of this pit, you see firelight and tents, and crawling up the walls, these very basic scaffolding. And as you do, a woman walks past the entrance, turns, and looks at you. 1 second, I have to grab something. It's a darker-skinned woman with black hair. She turns and looks at you and goes, No, not you. You weren't supposed to be here. And that's where we're going to leave it for tonight.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Alright.
Oh, the tension! Ah!